Hello. Hopefully you watched my intro to me video about who I am. It's called Welcome to Mr. Lewis's class, Rockvale High School 2020-2021. It's a lot of 20s. But now what we're going to do is going to go through just kind of the basics of what you can expect in U.S. history class. There's going to be a lot of words on the screen as far as just like sentence. Ordinarily, it won't really be like this because we're going to do PowerPoints in my class. It's just the nature of U.S. history. We do PowerPoints. You'll be all right. But there's going to be a lot of words. It won't be like that in the future. But let's go ahead and get started because I'm just rambling now. All right. So let's go. U.S. history, the history of the United States. So we're going to start, when you were in 8th grade, you started from colonial times and you went to the Civil War Reconstruction, right at the end of the Civil War. We're going to pick up at Reconstruction and we're going to go from Reconstruction to around the year 1877 and we're going to try to go all the way to modern day times. If we make it there, it's going to be fantastic. I have a feeling we'll make it to around the 80s, maybe the 90s. We're going to try our best. But we're going to get that big chunk of section in the 1900s, okay? A lot of cool stuff, Now, one thing that's kind of crappy about this class is that, yes, it is a state-tested course. So we do have an end-of-course test at the end of the year. Now, we're going to do a lot of tests in this class and a lot of quizzes. It's kind of the nature of the game. We got to play the game, and the game is we got to pass this test, and I'm going to get you to win, okay? I promise you, I will get you more than prepared. We're going to do a lot of EOC style questions, so questions where you look at a picture, cartoon, document, or whatever, and then answer a very difficult question. But you're going to be fine. Don't stress. It's all going to be lovely, okay? Okay. Now, besides it being a tested course, my primary goal, my number one goal as a teacher for you learning history is to teach you why you need to know this stuff. Why is it important? Why should I care what happened 100 years ago? And in a lot of ways, you're going to look at it and you're going to say, I don't really think I should care. But that's my job, is to show you why you should care, okay? Because it does matter. History does matter. It totally affects the way our world is today. And hopefully we can make that connection together, all right? Now, my secondary goal for you is just to teach you these skills and this knowledge to get you to pass this test. Because if you don't pass the test, it looks bad on me. Yee! So, I'm going to ask you to try really hard this year. I'm going to help you out as much as possible. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. We're going to learn some cool stuff. So let's check out what you're going to learn. So I've got them all listed out here. I'm going to include the sheet of paper that has all this listed. I'll include that in the links. But basically, we start with the era of industrialization. So that's when America's businesses really get going and America starts making money, okay? And during this time period, we're going to talk about the railroad a lot because that plays a big deal, okay? Let's keep going. Progressive era, progress is the base there. It's when America stops being so mean to women and children. They also do a little bit of things with racism and things like that, but that's not going to come until much later, okay? So we got businesses trying to make things better. Then America steps up as a world player. America has money now, right? Because of the first part. And when America gets money, we got to get involved in other things that maybe we shouldn't be involved in. Whoops. We're going to talk a lot about how America tries to start flexing on the world, trying to do things. Some of them are not so good, okay? And we'll talk about World War I, which is really exciting to talk about. And it's when America really emerges as like big dog in the park, all right? Then we'll move on to the 20s. The 20s are really, really fun. We get to talk about the radio. We get to talk about Babe Ruth, Lindbergh, all this really cool stuff in the 20s. And then we get to talk about some sad things. The Depression. Sorry, my jokes are super good. But anyways, so we'll go to the Depression, and it was pretty crappy. It was pretty bad. And then from there, we'll go to the New Deal, how America gets out of the Depression. And it's really interesting. There's a lot of government programs, and the government really becomes really powerful. And we'll talk about what does that mean, the government being powerful? Because it's different, okay? It's a big change. Anyway, moving on. From there, we get into World War II. Everybody loves to learn about World War II. It's awesome. We'll spend a good amount of time talking about World War II. And that's when America really becomes the superpower of the world, like we still remain today. From there, we'll go on to the Cold War, which is way more interesting than you think, because it's when the world is trying to not blow itself up. Nuclear weapons, okay? We're going to talk a lot about nuclear weapons and how scary they are, even today. Still really scary, okay? And we'll talk about Vietnam. A lot of people really like learning about Vietnam. It's very interesting, and it's kind of a dark chapter in American history, okay? From then, we'll move on to the 1950s. We'll kind of throw that in with Vietnam. It might be a little bit before, actually. But we'll talk about the 1950s. We'll talk about stuff like McDonald's. We'll talk about the interstate highways. A lot of really interesting stuff in the 50s. It was a cool time to be alive. We'll talk about Elvis, okay? So cool. From there, we'll talk about the civil rights movements when America begins to stop being racist. Still got a long way to go. It is what it is, but we're going to talk about it. And yes, it will get awkward. It will get difficult, but hey, we're going to learn it. History has tough topics, and I'm going to make it easy for you, and hopefully you'll learn some cool stuff. And then from there, we'll go to modern America. And again, this is where we get from 70s, 80s, 90s to now. And hopefully we'll have a little bit of time to talk about September 11th and all that stuff, okay? So cool. All right, topics. Cool. All right, now, this does not necessarily apply to those of you at home, but you can have a look. Doesn't really apply. Let's move on. All right, now, this does apply to you at home, okay? Except for this one because you're at home, so all work is homework. All right, now, every week we do at least one reading / EOC style assignment. Again, that's where we have, a document or cartoon, video, some type of something you look at and you have to answer a tough question about it or a tough set of questions. And I like to get at least one quiz in per week because you need grades. And the more grades you have, the better your grade will be. And my quizzes are not difficult at all, and you will do fine on them, so don't stress, okay? Now, for U.S. history, our tests count 60%, everything else is 40%. So you'll do everything in class. I'm not going to send you home with any homework. Those of you at home, you'll obviously be doing it at home. But it's not technically homework, it's classwork for you to do at home. Yeah. So now, for this class, those of you that will be here, I will give you a folder. That doesn't apply to you at home, but do please keep up with everything. And it'll probably be all on your computer, so you shouldn't lose it. So yeah. Any questions about that, send me an email. All right. Class rules. My class rules are really broad and kind of like the worst stuff because I can deal with pretty much anything. We can get along. I'm really laid back and super nice. I do care what you do in here and I do care about your grade, but I do it in a relaxed way. And so what I've included is just the stuff that is kind of my zero tolerance. Don't do this stuff, all right? And obviously you at home, I can't really regulate what you're doing, but don't do this stuff. Don't do it, okay? First thing, don't be cussing. Don't use any hate speech. That means talking about people, whether it's their gender, sexuality, race, whatever. Don't talk about stuff. Live your own life. Stay in your own lane, okay? No obscene talking. Don't be talking about anything gross, all right? This is stuff you should just do not do in life. Don't do these things. Don't do them, okay? Don't do them. All right, and then of course, number 3, don't act like a wild fool. Obviously, I can't control what you do at home, but don't be a wild fool. Don't fight with your brothers and sisters, mom, dad, grandma. Whoever you live with, be nice to them. Yeah. Okay, this is where it really won't apply to you as much, especially at home, because you're kind of doing your own thing, but I want you to see it. My goals and values for just the way I look at school, okay? First of all, this should be a safe place for all kids, okay? Especially in my classroom. We're gonna have tough discussions, tough conversations, but it's gotta be respectful and it's gonna be safe. It's gonna be good, okay? So this is a good place to be, and I like to keep a good environment, okay? Same thing, and I think I may have already said this, live and let live. You live your own life, stay in your own lane. If somebody's doing something you don't like, if they're not hurting you, leave them alone. Just ignore it, okay? Too many people in the world today trying to tell each other how to live and what values to have. Don't be like that. Figure out your own values and stick to them. All right? Now, I'm going to try to keep it as fun as possible in here every day. I try to just do something fun. We have good discussions all the time. It's chill. It's laid back, okay? Now, big one here. Notice, I'm here to teach you, not fail you. It's a big deal. A lot of kids come in class and they say, my math teacher, they just don't care. Or my science teacher, whatever teacher, they just don't care. They just want to fail me. They just want to fail me. In some cases, that might actually be true. In this case, this is not true. I am here to teach you. I'm here to help you succeed. And lastly, and it just got to do this part of the job, I want you to pass the state test at the end of the year. I'm not big on testing. I think it's kind of dumb, but it is what it is. The game we got to play, and I'm going to get you there. You will succeed. All right? All right. All right, these are just kind of my guidelines for how to live in this class, how to be, doing your thing. And basically, I say this phrase all the time. The chiller and more respectful you are, the chiller, I don't know if that's a word, the more chill and respectful I will be. I'm a firm believer that in order to get respect, you have to give respect. And I try to give my students as much respect as y'all deserve, because y'all do deserve respect. We're all humans, we all deserve respect, and that's all we're all wanting anyway. So I expect to get that back, okay? And you'll see, super laid back, very chill, and as long as you're chill, I'll stay that way, okay? All right. Now, like I've said before, I'm simple, straightforward. I'll tell you exactly what I'm looking for. I'll tell you exactly what directions you need. I try to make it as easy and straightforward as possible. We live in a weird, complex world, and I just try to keep it smooth, all right? All right. Phones and earbuds, obviously you at home, you can kind of do what you want. We're going to be using them pretty frequently because of the way school is now. But at home, if you're supposed to be paying attention, stay off Snapchat. Don't be Snapchatting. Don't take any Snapchats of me. All right, all right. And lastly, sorry, I know I'm weird, I'm sorry. But I care about every single one of you, whether you're here, whether you're at home. If I see you out in the world, I'll say hello, I'll say what's up. I promise you I'm here because I want to be helpful to young people. A lot of people give young people a bad reputation. People are always saying, teenagers this, teenagers that. I don't believe in any of that, because we were all teenagers at one point, and we're all people, okay? We're all in one human struggle together, so we need to work together to help each other out, all right? So, let's see. You never know what someone is going through, and we can all learn something from each other, all right? All right, remember that. Respect is everything, all right? All right. So again, I'm very glad that you are here. Even if you're at home, I'm very glad you're here. Hopefully we get to meet in person one day. Please let me know if there's anything you need, and I will help you out the best I can. If you have any questions, send me an email. I will put my email address in the link down below. I'll also put my webpage on there. Make sure to like, subscribe. No comments, cut those off. But yeah, so let me know. I'm sorry, my style is laid back and a little weird, but hey, this is what you get if you were here in person with me. Just trying to keep it chill, trying to keep it normal, trying to be cool in these weird, weird times. All right, so I'll see you. Hope you have a good day.